what's happening, YouTube family? Welcome to another episode of 2A in LA. All right, so before we get rolling, as always, everything that I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. You should not take it as fact. You should not take it as law. Always do your own research and come up with your own conclusions. All right, so let's get this rolling. So look, this episode is really for two reasons. Number one, for those of us who live within the state of California and you're interested in buying an AR-15 rifle, this is definitely something that you need to pay close attention to. For those who live in other states, this video is made so that you can laugh at the people that live in California. So have at it. All right? But for the rest of us, let's get it going. So as you guys know, I've only been in guns for a little over a year now, and have really tried to immerse myself in gun culture, gun knowledge, gun training. YouTube has been a wonderful resource for me in that regard. And one of the reasons why I started this channel was because I too wanted to give back and to give you guys information and knowledge, which I think is valuable, knowledge that helped me on my journey. And so many people, millions and millions and millions of people, are first-time gun owners and have bought probably a handgun, likely for self-defense. And if you're like me, you caught the bug and you want to expand your collection, you want to expand your knowledge, you want to increase your utility by, getting more proficient at other firearms, then you've probably thought about buying a long gun. And since the AR-15 platform is by far the most popular long gun in the nation, you've probably considered getting an AR-15 rifle. And so if you're starting this process, then you couldn't have watched this video at a better time, because I'm going to really get into what should go in, if you're in the state of California, what should go into your thought process. So I'm going to focus not so much on which manufacturer makes the best upper or lower and accessories and all that. That decision, in my opinion, is secondary to the configuration of your rifle. And here's what I mean by that. In the state of California, the only way you can own an AR-15 is one or two ways: fixed magazine or featureless. And so we're going to talk about these two configurations, what exactly they are, how exactly you need to comply, and the decisions that you need to think about, the things you need to think about relative to coming to a conclusion about what type of setup is best for you. Okay, so let's start off with fixed magazine, because it's really probably the easiest to understand. So as an example, I'm going to show you my fixed magazine AR-15 rifle. And if you've seen my long gun collection, you've probably seen this before. This is my F1 AR-15. It's F1 upper and F1 lower. Obviously, I've done some upgrades on it, but I really like this gun. It's a fantastic shooter. I also like the look. I think it's sexy. You've got the skeletonized grip right there. You've got the skeletonized upper receiver. Obviously, I've added some nice accessories on here in terms of the holosun, red dot magnifier. Also added some color, got nods on the front, enforced light, muscle brake, etc. So I'm not gonna, this isn't about the things that I've done to this particular gun, but more so about the configuration. And what I mean by configuration, I mean the fixed magazine structure. So on a fixed magazine, if you're gonna get a fixed magazine, and it sounds appealing on the start, you can configure your gun however you want. You don't have to worry about, whether or not any of the normal features that you can essentially put on a rifle, you can put on your fixed magazine. The issue is that the magazine itself, now I don't have, you'll see I don't have a magazine in here, but obviously you would insert your magazine here. Once that magazine is inserted, it cannot be ejected without breaking open the action. And you'll see I've got a cross armory system here, and let me see if I can show that to you. See that little tab right there? There's an identical tab on the other side of the gun right there. If I press these two buttons together, the action will open up and release the magazine. And so once I load it like I would load any other mag. I load it, I position the gun, right? I take my shots, the magazine's empty. Now, normally you just press a mag release, right? Bottom drops out, you pop another mag in, and you keep firing, right? This particular gun, because it's a fixed magazine, I would have to depress these two tabs on both sides. The action opens up, and then the magazine drops out. Now, I'll include some B-roll here so you guys can see exactly how that works. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why the hell do you have to do that? Well, that's California law. I'm assuming I wasn't part of obviously wasn't privy to the conversations that took place in the legislature when they came up with this rule. But the concept is that if it takes you longer to reload, somehow the gun becomes less lethal, or you as a threat become less lethal. I don't think that's the case, but okay. That's I think the thought process behind it. Okay, and so other than that, you can run your gun as normal. So in California, again, they limit us to 10 rounds in a magazine, and if you have a rifle, which is anything I think beyond a 16-inch barrel, then you have to have it in a fixed mag configuration or a featureless configuration, which I'll go over because that one's a little bit more complex. But just know that you can have your features on this rifle the way you would like, as long as the magazine is fixed and that there is some sort of apparatus that will hold the magazine in place, and the only way that you can release it is if you break open the action to release the mag. Now, I have a cross armory system. If you're looking at the B-roll, you'll see how it works with releasing the mag. There are many, many, many different types of tools that will allow you to do this to your gun. Some better than others. Some, it barely opens it up and you click it right back, and others, it opens the action up all the way. Whatever. So there's a lot of different variations on the theme. But the main thing you should be thinking about is, in order to release the mag, I need to do something to open up the action to release the mag. I close the action, and then I put in another magazine. Now, for everybody who thinks that, oh my God, that seems like a pain, it seems like it would be challenging. Well, I think it's all a matter of training. I think that I can show you some video of people who are incredibly proficient at it, who are incredibly fast at it, at making that transition, even with this style of setup. So that's the fixed mag. Now, if you're like, well, I don't want to bother with that. That's a pain in the butt to me. Then you may want to consider going featureless. And so what do I mean when I say featureless? Well, when California came out with an assault weapons ban, it came up with these characteristics of things that they feel are dangerous, right? Or unsafe. One is a traditional pistol grip, where you wrap here, I'll go back because a lot of the features are here, right? So you'll see I've got, although skeletonized, this traditional pistol grip. I wrap my hand around it and I access the trigger, right? So that's one thing. A collapsible stock. So this stock moves up and down as most stocks do and is not restricted. So I can adjust it depending on what's comfortable for me. Oftentimes, so that it can collapse in and out. Oftentimes, you'll see guns where the stock folds, right, where it collapses inward on the gun. So when it's not in use, it makes the gun the rifle more compact, right? Okay, so the pistol grip is considered a dangerous feature. A movable stock or collapsible stock is considered a dangerous feature. A flash hider that serves to hide the flash on the muzzle of the gun is considered a dangerous feature. I don't have one on here, but a vertical foregrip, a grip on the front of the gun that goes straight down, that's vertical, is also considered a dangerous feature, right? So if you're willing to relinquish these dangerous features, then then you can get a featureless gun that doesn't have the fixed magazine issue, right? And so let me show you my featureless rifle. Okay, so let's talk about this featureless rifle. I'll let you guys take it in for a second, right? Okay, so let's get into this rifle in some detail. You'll see that gone is the traditional pistol grip, and we have this fin. It doesn't allow me to wrap my hand around it like I would a traditional grip. However, to be compliant, it does come equipped with a thumb rest here, if I can see it, a thumb rest right there, which allows me to get a little bit more sturdy grip around the gun. Okay, so no pistol grip, no collapsible stock. This stock is fixed in place. I can't move it back, I can't move it forward. I had the stock set at where I wanted it to so that it was comfortable for me, and now it is fixed. And so no folding, no movement forward and back. The stock is fixed in place. So we got rid of that dangerous feature. Okay, no flash hider. Now we do have a muzzle brake which helps with recoil, but it doesn't suppress or hide the flash at all, right? And although I've got a hand stop on the front, no vertical foregrip. Now, if you saw me shoot this gun, and if I've got some B-roll available, I'll add it, I think you'll see that this gun is no less lethal than it would be if I had a flash hider on it, or a vertical foregrip, or a traditional pistol grip, or a movable stock. It's just as lethal. And so these are the things where I feel like some of these laws are ridiculous. This gun is certainly no more lethal than the other one. Is certainly no less lethal than if there weren't any of these requirements in place. But nonetheless, this is the requirement. So you can either run your rifle this way with the fin, no vertical foregrip, no muzzle hiding or flash hiding device on the muzzle, and no collapsible stock. You can run it this way. And this one, I just press the mag release button. That's right there. The mag falls out. I reload. I keep rolling. Okay, it's just like any other gun in that regard. The only thing is these features that I talked about are different. On the other gun, it has all the normal features, right? Except that it has this fixed mag component where you have to click the button, open the action before you can reload. Okay, so that's featureless. And the prior one I showed you was fixed mag. So now that you have it, you know, what are the two? These are the two configurations. These are the difference between the two. The next question obviously is, well, which one do I buy? I will say again, both are equally as lethal. Both are just as lethal as if those requirements weren't there. So from a lethality perspective, I don't think it matters. Um, what I would say, and with training, you can be highly proficient with both. For me, I find the modifications on the featureless rifle to be easier to adapt to than the fixed mag. I'm not necessarily in love with a vertical foregrip anyway. A hand stop is just as comfortable to me, or some kind of angle grip is just as comfortable to me relative to the buttstock, unless it's collapsible where it folds, and then that only matters when I'm not shooting the gun really. Uh, I'm probably going to put my stock where I like it and not going to move it all that much anyway. So having the stock fixed is not a big deal. Um, yeah, I'm not worried about a flash hider. I'm not an operator, so I'm not trying to hide my position necessarily from anybody. Usually, if I'm shooting this, I'm shooting it for sport or fun. I'm not probably likely shooting it as a home defense weapon. I live in an urban setting, so I'm probably more likely to use a pistol caliber carbine for home defense, barring some kind of extreme circumstance. So I'm less worried about having a flash hider. Really, the only real difference for me is the grip. Uh, Using the fin grip versus the pistol grip. And to be quite honest with you, you shoot it for 10 minutes, you get used to operating the gun with a fin grip with a thumb rest. You gain your balance relatively quickly. It is a lot more challenging to me to deal with opening the action quickly and closing it quickly while doing a tactical reload and continuing into the fight. That to me takes more skill, it takes more training, it takes more time. And I think there are people who are talented and who have trained and been given instruction who can do it very fast, like very fast. Some people will do that faster than people who are using featureless or who are using a traditional AR-15. They're just that good. And I believe anybody can train to that level if they're willing to put in the time and the energy. For me, I just think it takes more time, more energy. My AR-15 that has a fixed magazine is a more expensive gun. It's a better shooting gun. It's a more accurate gun. It's a more expensive gun. But I find it less enjoyable to shoot because of the fixed magazine component. That's why I call the other gun my shooter, and I train with it and shoot it more because it is more traditional. It's really a traditional gun, absent the grip, as I kind of explained before, and being tactical, unloading, loading. It's more straightforward to me. So that's the difference between a featureless gun and a fixed mag gun. Hopefully what I said makes sense to you. Hopefully you guys understand why. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. I try to answer all or respond to all of the comments that you guys leave, because I do feel like we're creating a community, we're creating a family. And so to the extent that I can do that, I want to be a resource for you. And to the extent that I can do that, I'm happy to do it. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think is better, fixed mag or featureless? Leave that down in the comments, and let's see if we can spark a great debate. All right. If you haven't checked out prior videos, please go back and check them out. Please like, subscribe, and share. You got friends out there that I'm sure would enjoy the content that we're providing. Love to bring them into the 2A NLA fold. Until next time, take care of one another, and peace.